Yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing O.M.A.C, issue number 5. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, I'm actually kind of surprised I'm still reading O.M.A.C, because the comic has been mediocre as best, and there's a lot of other comics that I have dropped that are either as good or better than O.M.A.C. But see, there's a few reasons why I've kept reading O.M.A.C. One is it's a completely different comic from all the other ones that I've read. I mean, I've dropped like 3 Green Lantern comics, but I always know that I have the main Green Lantern title that I can always pick up and read. There's only really one O.M.A.C. Two is that I'm actually kind of drawn in by the story and interested in where this story is going to go. And lastly, I'm actually starting to get invested in the characters. I'm invested in Kevin, and when he becomes O.M.A.C, I'm invested in Brother Eye, and I'm invested into Maxwell Lord. So, while the story may not be mind-blowing or the characters be overwhelmingly amazing, the comic's doing a good job keeping me there. It's a different kind of comic. It's a throwback to the Silver Age, and it's a throwback to a little bit more sci-fi, and even a tad bit of campiness thrown in there. Which is fine, because the DC relaunch was all about diversity, and this comic is definitely diverse and different from all the other ones. So let's talk a little bit about issue number 5. Now, last we left off, Kevin kind of came to terms with what he is and how he's becoming O.M.A.C, O.M.A.Ctivate. See, a little campiness, and he actually reluctantly agrees to work with Brother Eye. However, Brother Eye isn't looking eye to eye, no pun intended, with Maxwell Lord, and Maxwell Lord hires Shade, particularly Frankenstein of Shade, to fight against O.M.A.C. Now, apparently what's happening is there's a crossover for both comics. O.M.A.C and Shade, Frankenstein Agent of Shade, both have similar comics covers. So on the Agent of Shade cover has O.M.A.C doing the same maneuver to Frankenstein. So chances are the story is going to continue over into Frankenstein Agent of Shade. It might, because the ending kind of gets wrapped up here, but it might, because, again, they're doing a crossover. If that's the case, I'm not going to be picking it up. Despite the fact I am reading O.M.A.C, I know very little about Frankenstein Agent of Shade. So the basic concept is that Shade is contacted by Maxwell Lord, Frankenstein offers to fight O.M.A.C, and there's a big showdown. It's Brother Eye versus Shade, and it's O.M.A.C versus Frankenstein, in a huge monster blowout. And that's basically the story. Who exactly wins and how they win, you may be surprised. So let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. The two fighting each other is a really fun fight. O.M.A.C and Frankenstein are completely different monsters, for lack of a better term. O.M.A.C is all about raw power and smashing and breaking, where Frankenstein is more, again, I haven't read Agent of Shade, but from what I got from Frankenstein, he's a little bit more of a battle-worn, a little bit more of an older, gruffer, kind of veteran. He may not be the most skilled, but he definitely knows how to use the tools that is at hand, and it's definitely a contrast or a dichotomy in styles between the two. So the fight was actually really fun. There's even one portion of the fight where there's this huge explosion, and it says at the bottom, it says, insert whatever explosive word you want to put in for this epic fight between monsters. So the fight was fun. I'm interested to see the interactions between Maxwell Lord and Checkmate, Brother Eye, and also with Cadmus and Shade, and how they all kind of in like a secret little picking at each other war with each other, which is fun. What I also found interesting is I, again, have not read Frankenstein Agent Shade. I heard some good stuff about it, and I kind of wanted to pick it up. But, again, money. I have to be very strict with what I buy. And despite the fact that I know nothing about these characters, it wasn't that hard to actually pick up on them and to learn about them and to kind of get used to them. With the very little that was given, it was a pretty decent segue for me. I didn't feel lost at all. Bad. The only bad I could ever think about this is the fact that it is a crossover, and then part of it's going to be in Frankenstein Agent Shade issue number 5, is that I'm not going to be continuing the story. So that's a little disappointing. And I don't plan on picking up the other issues. So that's a little bit of a downside. That and Maxwell Lord's costume still bothers me. I liked his costume back in the day when it was the black shirt and the cargo pants kind of thing, and he has the gun on the side. That was cool. But besides that, on a whole, this was a pretty good issue. And for a series that has been honestly mediocre, and that's why I talked about it earlier in the beginning, I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It was a fun action scene, and that's the thing. This comic is meant to be fun. I don't think it's meant to be pushing the limits in any direction. Um, I can't tell you how close O.M.A.C has been on that little chopping block for me. But this comic is revitalizing my interest in it, and it's starting to get a little bit better, so I think I will continue picking up O.M.A.C for now. So I do recommend this if you've been following O.M.A.C, or if you've been following Frankenstein, Agent and Shade, it may be a nice way to segue into O.M.A.C, so you never know. Or vice versa. Who knows with the Agent and Shade comic. So anyways, go ahead and end this review here. 4 out of 5 stars. O.M.A.C, you're coming back from the chopping block. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.